Hi, friends. This is your friendly neighborhood spiritual counselor and cosmic heart, Linda. As always, we will start our session with a prayer. So I invite you to close your eyes and place your hands on your heart if it is safe and comfortable for you to do. And I'm inviting you to take a nice cleansing deep breath of love and gratitude, allowing everything that came before this moment to fall away and anything that is to come after this session to be set aside, knowing that we will easily and effortlessly be able to pick it up again if it is ours to do. We are grateful and thankful to be the two or more who are gathered in the name and the nature of love. Grateful and thankful for our willingness, our devotion, our dedication to remembering the truth of our being, which is unconditional love, pure innocence, divine intelligence and wisdom, harmony, beauty, prosperity, abundance, clarity, the all good. We are grateful for our mighty companions, our earthly and heavenly helpers. We ask that they join us now, surrounding and supporting us, blessing all who are here, all who may listen later, guiding us and inspiring us as we sit for just a moment to set our intentions for this session today. With our intentions lightly set in our open hearts and our open minds, we are grateful to be good receivers. We claim the all good and the kingdom of heaven right here and right now as ours. And we're grateful to be able to share the benefits of all that we receive and all that we are with Mother Earth and all her beings, because we are one. In grace and divine gratitude, we let it be, and so it is. Amen. So I'm trusting that you were brought here to this video because there's something in it that will be helpful for you to hear. And just know that whatever comes through today, trust that it is coming from a place of love and only love, even if it may be difficult to hear. So I was inspired today to talk a little bit about decluttering and decluttering your space, your surroundings, where you live, as well as decluttering your mind and decluttering the judgments that you have, especially against yourself. Because I find that they can kind of shade or color what you see throughout the rest of the world in your life. And so I have been decluttering pretty seriously for the last 4 years or so, due to a lot of intensity in my life, senses of overwhelm. My home, there were places in my home that kind of became dumping grounds, especially when we would be having gatherings here at our house, because during the regular times when there was nobody else here, we would put things off or procrastinate things or just not put things away where, like, in their ideal home, or not deal with them even when things were super overwhelming. And a lot of that had to do with too, after my parents passed away, especially after my mom passed, there, on top of the clutter that I already had in my house and the chaos around my own items, there were many things that I brought from my parents' home to my home, that needed to have a permanent place, and that didn't happen right away. So there was a lot of clutter, and I would say, especially my bedroom was, it almost was looking like a hoarding situation where there were boxes and piles of stuff, so much so in that room that it made it difficult to get to the closet. And it was like there was a path around the bed to get in and out of the bed, and the rest of the floor was just covered with stuff. And there were a couple other rooms in the house that a lot of stuff had accumulated, and like we would just throw it in there and then shut the door so nobody could see it, including a closet at our entryway that had become so overpiled with stuff. And then I can't remember if it was right before or right after my mother passed away, we had to have somebody come and deal with an issue we were having with our internet service. Did not realize that the cable that hooked our home up to that service went into that closet. And so when the technician came to deal with that, all of that stuff in the closet had to come out. And rightfully so, it was really not his job to clean that out. And so he kind of just threw things out of the closet. And then when he was done, kind of threw things back in the closet. So it really was just chaotic mess. And just added to the sense of overwhelm that I was feeling about the stuff in my house. So I signed up for a program called Take Your House Back that is run by 3 women that I had been following off and on through YouTube. Dawn, who goes by the Minimal Mom on YouTube, Cassandra Arsden, who is the Clutter Bug, and Dana K. White, who started years and years ago, maybe decades ago, with a blog called A Slob Comes Clean. And so I took this course because I had been following these women for quite some time just through YouTube videos, and I was desperate to get some traction. And so they have 3 times a year what they call an all-day declutter in their program called Take Your House Back. And so I had signed up for that when it was on sale. And I believe it's only $10 to renew each year. So I've been doing that for several years now. And the last one that I did in January was the first time I have done it since my husband passed away. And so I gave myself some grace because I realized that through the grief that I've been dealing with, there's a lot of decisions that I need to make that would not have been decisions that I would have made in the past, or decisions that I need to make that remind me that Rudy's no longer here, that can just, it's kind of like just somebody pinching you or poking you. And so making decisions about where stuff goes and how to deal with stuff can sometimes feel like too much. So I did what I could. I lasted the whole day. I was really grateful for the energy that I had throughout that day. And I just let myself do it crappy. Not the perfectionist way that I would have initially liked to do it. Um, and one of the ladies in the Take Your House Back course, Cassandra Arston, the Clutter Bug, is in the midst of writing a book that she would like the title to be "Do It Shitty," and which I love that title, but apparently there are some places that she would like to sell her book that would not accept that title. Which, we're grown-ups here. Seriously. But anyways, so this weekend I had the intention of taking one day and doubling down on my bedroom closet, which for some reason I seem to have a difficult time dealing with clothing, even though I have my favorites that I wear over and over and over again. I don't know if it's because I have regrets about spending money on stuff that I am not wearing. If I have some kind of fantasy me that feels like it will start wearing it. I'm not exactly sure what that's about, honestly, and I don't really have to know. But so I started to go through that closet and take some things out, and the goal was to declutter some stuff in that closet, reorganize it, declutter some stuff in my front closet, my coat closet, and reorganize it so that I could put some things that were in my bedroom closet that didn't really belong there in the front closet, and also kind of a refresh of the breezeway closet, because I knew there was space in that closet that was not being utilized well that I could. And I worked on it for 2 to 3 hours. I worked on this closet reorganizing this weekend on Saturday. And I was really like, the vision that I had of what it was going to look like did not turn out to be what it looked like. I, for whatever reason, was having what Dana calls decision fatigue. And so I didn't hardly declutter any of the clothing. But ideally, I had this vision of filling up a box or two that could be donated and a whole garbage bag. And that is not what happened. I did have some things that ended up in the donation box and some things that ended up in the trash, but I ended up just doing what I could do. And I still felt mostly satisfied at the end of that day, because doing it shitty is better than not doing it at all. And the decluttering of my spaces, I know, help my mind to be more clear and crisp and concise, to receive clarity and inspiration. And I also know that as I clear my spaces, I am judging myself less, because I'm not able to boss myself around or bully myself with the things that I'm not doing or the things that I'm doing that I wish I wasn't, if that makes sense. So, just that, to all that to say that, yes, it is, I feel, important to declutter our spaces, to declutter our minds, to let go of the judgments, self-judgment and judgment of others. It is not helpful, in my experience and in my honest opinion, it is not helpful to berate ourselves for the level of success we are or are not achieving in those things. So it really is a practice in self-love and compassion to first of all make the decision that you are going to declutter, and then, you know, maybe looking up one of Dana's videos, one of Cass's videos, one of Dawn's videos, and do a body doubling work along with them while you're listening to their videos. That I have found very helpful. I also find it helpful, if super helpful, if I can have a buddy, a friend that is also doing a decluttering the same day or time that I am. Not that we're in contact, but I've found it helpful if I take befores of the spaces that I'm working on, and they take befores of the spaces that they are working on, and we send them back and forth to each other in a text, and then send afters, you know, and encourage each other. It's easier and more fun to do these things if you're not doing them all by yourself, is what I find. It's also easier to, if you can find some kind of motivation. I do find that I'm often outwardly motivated. So say I want to watch a movie or a show, and Jennifer Hadley has talked about this too. So you watch the movie or the show for half hour, 20 minutes, half hour, whatever, and then do what it is that you've been putting off or procrastinating for 15 minutes or even half an hour, you know, and keep going back and forth that way, so that you have a goal of doing it in this specific amount of time, and then stopping at that specific amount of time, and then rewarding yourself by, you know, watching the show or watching part of the movie or whatever. So, and I do offer counseling sessions that include, after the first 20 minutes of the counseling, to talk about what the clutter represents and how it's bullying or bossing you around, where I help talk you through and guide you through decluttering your space. So that it's an option. It's just an option. Yeah. So, and I know, you know, spring will be here eventually, even though the groundhog says otherwise. And it's still in the teens and 20s here, with a foot and a half or so of snow on the ground. Spring will be here eventually. So spring cleaning is, I find it to be very cleansing, body, mind, and soul. So if you found this video helpful and you would like to go deeper, you can, as I said, work with me one-on-one. Just leave a comment below. Counseling sessions are 45 to 60 minutes long, cost $100, and I can share more details when you reach out in the comments below. Please share this video with family or friends who you feel it may support. I would love to hear your feedback or suggestions for future topics. And be sure to do all the YouTube things, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when new videos are available. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. Much love to you, and stay true to your own cosmic heart. Bye for now.